the chance he almost lost forever. 4 years had passed since the worst decision of Robert Chen's life. Standing in the children's section of the bookstore, he watched a familiar figure browsing picture books with 2 small children clinging to her hands. Anna looked exactly as he remembered. Gentle eyes, patient smile, the same grace that had first captured his heart. But now she was flanked by twin boys who couldn't have been more than 3 years old, their dark hair catching the afternoon light streaming through the windows. Robert's chest tightened as memories flooded back. The day Anna had told him she was pregnant, her face glowing with joy and anticipation. His own reaction, the fear, the panic, the selfish calculation that a family would derail the business expansion he had worked so hard to achieve. "I'm not ready for this," he had said, words that still haunted him. "The Singapore project needs my full attention. Maybe someday, but not now." Anna's face had crumpled, but her voice remained steady. Someday isn't good enough for a child who needs their father now. He had walked away that night, choosing his career over love, success over family. Within 6 months, his company had indeed expanded internationally. He had everything he thought he wanted, except peace with himself. Now, watching Anna patiently help the twins choose between 2 storybooks, Robert felt the full weight of what he had lost. One of the boys looked up and caught sight of him staring. The child's eyes, they were unmistakably Robert's own eyes looking back at him. Anna followed her son's gaze and froze. For a moment, the busy bookstore seemed to fall silent around them. Robert approached slowly, his heart pounding with 4 years of regret. "Anna," he said softly. "They're beautiful." She straightened, instinctively drawing the children closer. "This is Lucas," she said carefully, "and this is Leo. Boys, this is someone Mommy used to know." Lucas, the bolder of the 2, studied Robert with curious intensity. "Are you the daddy who had to work far away?" he asked innocently. Anna's face flushed. "Lucas, remember what we talked about?" But Robert knelt down to the boy's level, his voice catching. "Yes," he said simply. "I'm the daddy who made a terrible mistake by working far away." Leo stepped forward then, reaching out to touch Robert's tie with the fearless curiosity of a 3-year-old. "Mommy says mistakes can be fixed if you say sorry and mean it." The wisdom of children cut straight to Robert's heart. He looked up at Anna, seeing the mix of pain and hope in her eyes. "I've spent 4 years trying to convince myself I made the right choice," Robert said quietly. "Building the business, expanding overseas, winning awards. But every success felt hollow because I knew I had abandoned the most important thing in my life." Anna's voice was barely a whisper. "You left us, Robert. When I needed you most, you chose money over family." "I was a coward," Robert admitted. "I was terrified of failing as a father, so I convinced myself I was being responsible by staying focused on work. But I failed anyway. I failed in the worst possible way." Lucas tugged on Robert's sleeve. "Mommy cries sometimes when she thinks we're sleeping," he said with the brutal honesty only children possess. "She says she wishes we had a daddy who wanted to stay." The words hit Robert like physical blows. Anna gently shushed Lucas, but the damage was done. Robert saw the loneliness Anna had carried alone, raising 2 children while he built his empire. "Anna," Robert said, standing slowly, "I can't undo the last 4 years. I can't take back walking away when you needed me. But if you'll let me, I want to try to be the father they deserve. The partner you deserved all along." Anna studied his face, searching for sincerity. "It's not just about you anymore, Robert. They've built a life without disappointment. I won't let you hurt them the way you hurt me." "Then let me prove I've changed," Robert said. "Not with grand gestures or expensive gifts, but with time. With presence. With showing up every single day." Leo had been quietly examining a book about construction trucks. He held it up to Robert. "Can you read about the bulldozer?" he asked simply. Robert accepted the book with trembling hands and sat cross-legged on the bookstore floor. Both boys settled beside him, one on each side, as if they had been waiting their whole lives for this moment. As Robert read about brave bulldozers and helpful dump trucks, he felt something he had forgotten existed, the simple joy of being exactly where he belonged. 6 months later, Robert stood in the kitchen of the home he now shared with Anna and the twins, helping Lucas and Leo make pancakes for their mother's birthday. The Singapore office ran itself these days. He had learned that true leadership meant building systems that didn't require his constant presence. "Higher, Daddy," Leo called out, watching Robert flip a pancake. "Make it do tricks." The word daddy still made Robert's heart skip. He had earned it slowly, through bedtime stories and scraped knee comfort, through patient answers to endless questions and quiet presence during nighttime fears. Anna appeared in the doorway, her hair still mussed from sleep, watching her family with wonder. "You know what I realized?" she said softly as Robert handed her the first perfect pancake. "What's that?" "Sometimes the best things in life are worth waiting for," she smiled, "even when we never thought we'd get a second chance." Robert kissed her forehead, understanding finally that success wasn't measured in quarterly reports or international expansions. It was measured in moments like this: flour on small hands, laughter filling the kitchen, and the knowledge that he had chosen love over everything else that had once seemed so important. The greatest tragedy isn't falling short of our dreams, but walking away from love and then realizing too late what we've lost. The greatest miracle is discovering that sometimes, if we're very lucky, love gives us another chance.